Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother. Becky Lynch's contract is up in 2 months. If everybody can please hit that like button, Out of Nowhere is about to begin. We got AEW going on right now. Becky Lynch's contract is up. The Rock, Cody Rhodes. Big Monday Night Raw. Jake DeMarco's in the house. We haven't heard his opinion yet. He's going to give his opinion. And it's Out of Nowhere. Please click that like button and stick the thumb all the way up my ass, baby. Yeah.
I love the dick.
Bet you do.
Purple penis.
We are live right now for Out of Nowhere episode 261. It's the third episode since Jake's returned, I believe. And it's 261 episodes of Out of Nowhere. We are just a few days away from probably the biggest, the baddest Monetize This of the 400s. It's going to be a crazy-ass night. Luke Rojas puts his Monetize This championship on the line on Monetize This 450. We're talking about Luke Rojas versus Joe Cronin versus Jay Menace versus the Dork Knight. And inserted into the match, the returning Jake DeMarco, and of course lurking in the background, the homosexual leader of the free world, and the man who has the points in the bank, always nerdy. What a thumbnail. And what a night it's going to be this Saturday night. This Saturday night around 9 o'clock when Monetize This 450 gets underway. It's going to be nuts. And someone's going to get 2,000 points from the pot. Man, that's going to be hard to figure out. But never mind that. We're here to talk about wrestling, AEW, WWE, Cody Rhodes, The Rock. Another big jolt of just, injected into us on Monday Night Raw. I called it one of the best Monday Night Raws in years. And it got me fired up again, kind of like the press conference did a couple weeks ago. So that was mega important that it did that, because we were kind of on a downward trend, in my opinion, and things weren't looking so great. And now they're back to hyped again. So I'm just basically not going to say too much more about it, because I've already kind of like ranted about how great it's been over and over and over and over again. Like, I was really on a rant about, I love this shit, let's go, blah, blah, blah. I know Jake heard me. So I guess I want to hear from you, because I heard a little bit from you in text messaging, but what did you think of this Raw, man? I almost wish me, you, and Luke were doing it, but it was awesome.
I know, absolutely. Hey, if Luke's around, I want to hear his opinion too. But absolutely, it was a damn great Raw, top to bottom. They set it up nice. They just had people wanting to stay at least involved. But it was funny to see the ultimate rating spike for the CM Punk segment. You cannot say that he's not a draw when he's a legit needle mover. It went to over 2.2 million viewers concurrently when the Punk Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins segment went ahead and happened. I love the way this went down. Everything that was said was apparently not scripted. So we've heard a lot about this over the last few days, how really it was just we're going to give you guys some loose talking points.
Yes, yeah, it was like the bullet points were there. And
we're going to give you guys,
great.
some words to say, and then we'll work on it from there.
That's what made it great. They hit the bullet points; those were great, and then they managed to just, everything they said was fire. Like, all the things they were saying was good, and the fact that that CM Punk painted Drew into this corner, and he's like snickering, like, yeah, It
did a great job with that.
It worked in every level. It worked as in they were competing with each other for this freestyle, but all at the same time in character they were also, competing. I don't know why, man, but I was so entertained by it. It was fascinating to watch.
It was a true triple threat, but yet you kind of had a reason to root for each person in a different way. You're like, yeah, well, no, you're right too. Yeah, you got screwed. You're right. Oh, but you're right, too. So each guy had their reasons, and everything felt justified, and it felt real. Why? Because there was a lot of realism in it. I guess a hush fell backstage, according to reports we're seeing on here, when Punk dropped the line of, go ahead, who, say the name. Who names you the chosen one? And you saw him just kind of fall dead-eyed for a second. Drew didn't know what to say, and that was, as you said, just the amazing checkmate moment. Punk still has it, injured. He kind of had to back off because the fans didn't want to see him commentate. They wanted to see him be the guest referee.
Yeah,
they were chanting for that.
Which, by the way, they're wrong. So, thank God.
Yeah, no, I don't want him in a referee capacity.
Well, because
he'll break his other arm.
It won't be as entertaining. It would be way more entertaining to hear him at WrestleMania.
Oh, he's great on commentary. I still always go back to the Raw that I enjoyed and everybody else hated when Triple H had the walkout. It was stupid of the idea. I didn't like the idea of them walking out, but what they did with it, they had, I'll be a referee, and Punk was on commentary, and it was going to be just, whoever wants to wrestle and stay here. I think it was like Sheamus and Cena that were left, but they were, and that always stuck out because I was like, oh, on the fly Punk commentary is still as good as I remember it being. So anytime he's gotten on there, even in AEW, he was really enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah. So he nailed it. He enhanced the press conference and made that better because of his mouth.
Yeah, and it's the realism factor. I'm telling you, that's what WWE has lately. And The Rock walked up to Cody and said something. We didn't know what he said. You could almost make it out. And it wasn't a work thing in the sense of he said something else and they edited it in after. No, he said, I'm gonna make you bleed. My hearing impaired deaf mother could actually lip read it. I wanted to see, and she even verified. That's what he says. I'm like, oh, at least they stick to it. And key figures responsible for everything that happened backstage, it was everyone involved. The Rock, Triple H, and Cody Rhodes. What do you expect? So apparently they're really letting these guys lead the charge. They're kind of just being told, as you said, bullet points. And from there, what happens, happens. There was no repercussion for anything anyone said in that promo battle. And apparently everyone ate it up backstage and thought the reaction was great. They trust for each talent and superstar to know how to toe the line enough to not push it too far. And I think Punk's brilliant at that. That's kind of what he's noted for, the pipe bombs. So
yeah, he did that, and they several things I was trying to think, like, if you could make a counter for, like, that part was great, that word was great, that thing was great, that was great. There was so many of them. There was from the beginning to the end for 22 minutes, there was, I want to say there was about 8 things that I wrote that I would take note of. Like, that was great, that was great. Every time they hit on something like that, it just jolted me. And that was the middle of the show. So you had this
500,000 people tuned in at that moment to see what Punk had to say in Chicago.
It was over 2 million at that point, right?
2.2 million total, but they went up. Right. 500,000 viewers from commercial break to Punk's music.
That's crazy.
It is. It floors me. I think everyone knew it was going to be that 9 o'clock hour. That's when he'll come out.
Right. Okay. So
it lined up perfect with that time, and right as they hit that quarter, poof, right up there. So, he said he was 1 bill Phil. Now he's 2 mil Phil because he's just a ratings juggernaut lately. So.
Absolutely. This was crazy, bro. Like, this was a good Raw. I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Some people were giving it 8s and stuff like that, 9s.
I would give it an 8. The wrestling was really good. We had some solid matches. Mm-hmm. And then on top of it, the story was threaded throughout. The Rock said, I'm going to make you bleed. And then the ending was so viscerally brutal, but yet simple. They didn't have 1,000 weapons. He didn't go through 5 panes of glass and off 14 ladders. He busted him open. He put the blood on the belt and he hit him a few more times. But the way he did it was so viscerally evil. It was just that guttural realness to it as he's rubbing the blood all over, Cody's first his face, then the belt, and then just onwards. And Cody's always been good about, spewing a leaker on his head. So he's a bleeder, just like, his brother and his father.
He's a leaker. I thought
Dustin Rhodes cut a great promo on Dynamite tonight, and then they're going to have him. Yeah, but it led to him facing off against the Butcher on Rampage. So it's like, hey, you just cut this amazing promo about being the natural born legend, and everyone loves you, and you still got it at age 55, and people can't do what you do now at their young age. And it was really impassioned and powerful. It felt like he went to Tony and was like, give me a minute and let me talk. And then Tony was like, all right, but then you got to face the Butcher. There's always a negative to it lately.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I sound like a hater, but AEW is I don't know. I fell out of love with it. And yeah, I mean, we call people.
That's AEW tonight, Jake. Look at that.
I know. I was baffled by it, but it's true. There was only 3,000 fans in attendance in an 18,000 seat arena.
Wow.
I mean, look at that place. And we called out WWE for the tarps. You made the tarp song.
Yep. Tony the Tarp
so
Man.
Many of us.
Now it's Tony the Tarp Man. Like, is there a Tony the Tiger song or something we can do for Tony with tarps? Because we got to make fun of them. We made fun of WWE. Well, AEW is selling out these small buildings. It's so weird, dude. Like 3-4 years ago, AEW was selling out 6,000 arenas, and WWE was unable to fill their 15,000 arenas, and we were making fun of the tarps. AEW is worse than WWE was when it was in the reverse. It's funny how that is. Again, very strange how things have changed.
It's New Japan, but with more passion. But they can't buy an audience.
Right.
Said it. I've said it. You've said it. So many people down the line have gone ahead and I don't want to be an AEW hater, but I've fallen out of love with it because. And I've heard this sentiment quite a few shocking places lately. Even Wrestling Observer has been putting out little clips and reports of them kind of crapping on AEW. And I'm like, I thought you guys, the whole joke was you're being paid by Tony, no?
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe not, or maybe he stopped paying them or something. I don't know.
And then Punk shouts out Cornette. That really must burn their
Yes,
their
you shouted
ass.
out the show for Christ's sake.
I know. So old friend of yours, Joe. Henite. But it was certainly, just a great way to end Raw. Makes you want to tune into SmackDown. It's going to be in Connecticut. We're looking forward to that on Friday.
Hopefully you'll be able to be there.
Yeah, and if anybody's going to go ahead and be there, let us know, please. Well, hopefully, if we can make it, try and meet some people. That'd be great.
Hopefully everything will work out with whatever the deal we've got done here with Jake going to SmackDown, but you never know. Sometimes I remember
Right.
I've gone to shows not knowing what's going on. The next thing you know, there's where you're sitting. Oh, okay, what?
All right.
And we made a joke that you could be sitting behind the stage because they've just
because
opened
they
up.
just opened up those seats. I thought it was a joke at first, but no, they actually added more seats behind the stage. So maybe they are using the Smalltron again, as they did previously.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that I am thoroughly enjoying of Triple H's current, reign as booker and chief, content maker. It's highly interesting that he's going ahead and managing to be so snarky and bitchy in an underhanded and passive-aggressive way by every show saying that it's the X number sellout in a row, knowing that they're having to tarp off their, and being the narrative online that AEW can't bring in an audience right now. So just the fact that the start of every Raw, you hear Michael Cole, this is our 11th Raw, sold out in a row, full packed arena. And it's just, it's intentional. They didn't do it before or ever. When have they ever counted the number of sold out shows?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never in the history. They've said they've sold out shows, but never did they count how many in a row and share that fact. Now they turned it into a weekly statistic just to shove it Tony's way.
Yeah, just
like a little hey, you know.
They're gonna do it too until there's like a significant not sold. You know what I mean? Like until there's
That's
whole.
the thing.
It has to be a huge row or two of not sold. Otherwise, they'll just won't release those tickets and they'll say sell out.
And I think two problems with AEW right now with their tickets, and this is just my take on it. One is the price. I don't know about some, but a couple of shows I looked around here were very expensive.
Right.
Some people say, no, we got it super cheap. They had, deal packs. I guess it depends on the market. But here, there weren't sales. You said they were giving away tickets, last time. It just depends on what the show is and what they're trying to bring in. Grand Slam, certainly that time they weren't trying to, hand out tickets. Those were going to be higher priced. So, but they're lacking in two ways, I feel, is that one, they're not booking anything in advance, really. There's no real overarching narrative right now. There's no devil storyline. MJF isn't on a super evil reign. There's no main thing. Even Samoa Joe doesn't feel like the biggest deal, and he's your champion. He's the AEW champion, and he feels like an afterthought. This is the main event. We got Takeshita taking on Swerve, and it's going to be a great match, but there's no story to it. So one, like I said, you have fans not really knowing what's going to happen weeks out. So why am I going to go to this show and pay money if I don't know who's going to be there? And it's not like Raw or SmackDown where you have a guaranteed set roster. Some of these guys you don't see for 3-4 weeks at a time. So, I really want to see Keith Lee. Well, I shouldn't have bought tickets. That's the problem. But unfortunately, I think that affects them. So not having any real long-term booking, and then the price, as I mentioned. So I don't know how you feel, Joe, but that certainly is an issue as I see it.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, there's all kinds of issues. But my headset just fell off, and I just almost stepped on it. Thank God I didn't. What am I doing?
I lost my drink there.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm good. You're good. We're alive. I got my mic stand fixed, so that's great. I've been using this little pin-up thing all week. It's been driving me nuts. Of course, I got the headset.
Look at the lightning in the background.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, I got the TV's back up again. Everything's back up and working. I figured since I had to fix the microphone stand and pull the desk out, I might as well fix everything that wasn't working anymore.
Loving the belts, everything looking official.
Yeah, they fell. I took them down. They fell off. Like I fixed them again. The nail came out. It was crazy. But everything's fixed a little bit. And you know what I really wanted was the L cars because last year during Picard, when I was doing the Picard review and reaction or whatever, I had all the Star Trek stuff going behind me and stuff, and I was having a blast with Star Trek.
It's cool. You can add little Easter eggs.
Yeah, I wanted somebody to pop up and flash people or something like that or whatever. But
digging out through old stuff before, and I found my Halo 3 ODST tournament championship from GameStop back there. So it's no longer the Church of Stone Cold, but the Church of Master Chief tonight.
That's awesome. I love that time.
Absolutely.
I'll never forget. Was it ODST? No, I'll never forget Reach. We were
Reach, yeah.
Only because me and Bobby were in line, and it was the last time I was in line at a midnight release. I think it might have been the last time. And
yeah, close to it, because there really wasn't much out after that.
Yeah, I think
that or Black Ops 2 was like the last one.
I remember that. I just remember a drunk guy screaming about jetpacks. Like he was so, like he was losing his mind. He was like jetpacks, and he was.
You remember
hammered.
when midnight releases were just the biggest thing? I know you and I nostalgia baiting already, but hey, it's true. I mean, you think of how many things that the current generation misses out on. That's one of the things. Movie, rentals and Hollywood Video. I worked there for years, as I said before. I miss the video store experience. Things you won't ever get the chance to see nowadays. But that's why I said, people. They want to spend their money wisely, and it seems like WWE is the hot ticket right now, and I can't blame them. WWE just keeps having to add seats, and AEW is currently having to tarp them up. And I don't want to sound like I'm picking on AEW, but I did admit, like I said, I've had like a falling out of love. I was really disappointed in how they handled MJF's pretty much face turn. I mean, they had something going, but then why have them lose the tag titles against FTR? I saw them do that in Hartford. It was ridiculous. Why not have them win? Instead, they made them wait a couple weeks, and then they won the ROH tag team titles. It would have made so much more sense to have them be the AEW tag team champions. And then when they lost the belts to, it should have been the Kingdom, then it would have made great sense because they would have been revealed as the Devils. But hey, they didn't do that. They skipped some steps and threw some wrenches in the engine. And a lot of it was just plot holes. And you had, Adam at at the house and just trying to go ahead and just be at Roderick's every beck and call. And I get it, but what are you supposed to do?
That did make me kind of laugh sometimes, but like I didn't get it.
In the beginning it was funny, but then they just beat it like a dead horse, and it just got worse and worse, unfortunately.
Oh my God!
When they beat it like that hooker that time, and you went at the casino. Oh, never mind. But
no, beat it like a dead horse. What about the casino?
Oh, no, don't talk about the hookers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Room 242. Never. Good luck to whoever washed that room the last time.
Oh, God.
But
there was
yeah.
Jizz on the walls.
There's stuff everywhere.
On the ceiling.
Did you have the thought, because I did immediately once they hit the outside. First they were outside, and I thought, oh my God, it's raining outside. And cinematically they shot it it looks so beautiful out there with the raindrops and cool. But I immediately thought, okay, here we go. Rikishi's going to hit like here comes Rikishi. He's going to hit him with the car.
I was waiting for him to throw him off.
Yes,
I thought
that too.
They were going to go ahead, and I was like, I don't even know if they'll gimmick it for Cody, because Cody likes to take the pain. He likes to be, damaged. So he certainly sells for his craft. We know that about Cody. He still has the burn marks on his back for that ridiculous table spot with Andrade.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I thought so. That was another thing I was thinking about saying to you the last couple of minutes. I thought there was part of me that thought, and you said this earlier, that he didn't really have to do much. It was very subtle, throwing him into the bus, and he's bleeding and cradling him and saying stuff. And The Rock did get a little repetitive during that a little bit, but I thought something bigger was going to happen. I made a joke yesterday that. The Rock could have beat the dog or something on the bus, and somebody was like, you're a terrible person. I'm like, I'm kidding.
Because he brought Pharaoh out, and he had that neck collar that said Rock is a cat or whatever, or something stupid to it. But it was, Cody being funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he should have taken Pharaoh and then put him up for adoption. I mean, there could have been options. Or instead of throwing the weight belt over the river, he throws Pharaoh over the river.
Well, you know what they could do, since nobody wants to have the person the other day was like, that's terrible, you're disgusting, and all these things. And I'm like, okay. And they were serious. And I'm like, well, it's a joke, dude, calm down. But that is the very reason you can't mess around with joking around with animal cruelty or animal whatever in this day and age. So what they should have done, they should go the other route. They should go the route of The Rock is PETA. So what The Rock should do, Cody should be on his bus, and all of a sudden these people should show up. and they should take Pharaoh away from Cody. And it's
how
because
dare you bring him to the arenas?
it's The Rock could say something like The Rock could, somebody called us and let us know that the dog was being abused. And this could have been like after, Cody was like, oh, she scuffed her side and cut herself. Is she okay? Yeah, Cody's been attending to his dog today, so he'll be out later tonight on Raw. And then all of a sudden, he's out there. He's like, yeah, just making sure my dog's okay, man. And I'll be out for the 10 o'clock segment. Look forward to seeing everybody. And then all of a sudden, someone, the cops show up and they're there to take the dog away. And they're like, we had several reports of animal abuse. Can we see the dog for a second? And they look at the dog and they see the thing. And he's like, she cut herself earlier or whatever. And they're like, we're going to have to take the dog for, for whatever the hell. And they take Cody Rhodes' dog. Come to find out,
he's just in the ring crying. And then Al Snow comes back to him a day later, and Al Snow brings him a box of takeout food. And he says, try this taco.
Oh,
and he's like, oh, I'm so hungry. And he eats a taco. And he's like, that's not Pharaoh. I know where Pharaoh is. We're going to go pick him up. So stop crying, you bitch.
That'd be funny. Oh, my God.
That would be great. Just to swerve him, make everybody think he's going to eat the dog.
But what they could do is that, they take...
Kennel from Hell?
Well, no. They take the dog, but in the end, it turns out it's not the police. It's not the MSPCA or whatever it's called. It's not the animal. It's just a bunch of goons that The Rock sent there, paid to take his dog.
ANAZI, whatever. I know.
Or what if he abducted? Now, I don't think he could abduct the dog. I think that would be too funny. Like, it would make everything too funny, But, like, it would
what if he abducts Brandy?
Well...
No, the baby.
No, Brandy and the dog. Brandy and the dog, and Cody's stuck with the baby.
And the kids. Doesn't he have 2 children?
Well,
now,
no,
right?
leave
the whole family.
No, it's better to leave Cody with the kids because then he's got to take care of that while trying to find out his wife and dog.
Oh, there you go. Like, really, he's changing diapers and all that.
Yeah. Is anything weird?
Difficult.
Anything noteworthy happening on AEW?
AEW. I will be honest. I mean, they had a hell of a match. Takeshita, and Swerve Strickland. The crowd really came alive for this. I thought the crowd was quite dead earlier on. They came alive and a bit unglued for the women's match. The women, they did a pretty decent job, and Willow had a really nice match. I'll recap things more officially in a minute for you. But
all right. Well,
go ahead and close out this stream so I can pull up my notes for you.
Well, we get that going. I'm gonna play any donations we might have, guys. If you want to donate to the stream, this is out of nowhere. We're live again. What is this? 261, I think. Feel free to do it. The donation link is pinned to the top of the chat as always, or you can drop a super chat, become a member, do all that stuff. If you guys like Out of Nowhere, let us know. We've been on for a while now, and right now it's about to be time for AEW, so a lot of people should be joining us who are watching AEW, I believe. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and play the donos.
You donated
Bam!
$50.
Oh!
I'm gonna take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
Ooh.
Evening, Joe and Jake.
Well.
I've heard that sources are saying that John Cena and Stone Cold are saving Cody on night 2. WWE said their faces on side of trailer was put there on purpose for plan.
Yes, I mean, we noticed it last night during the stream, and all during the week we've been talking about this.
Yeah, when the first night you and I came back, you were asking me what did I think of this match, that match, about Manias we're talking about, and you asked me about the Stone Cold match, and I said you even first brought up the idea, said, well, he'll be, I forget how you said it, something about this Mania, and I'm like, we started joking about that. So we've been saying for weeks, Stone Cold would get involved because that's The Rock's, former nemesis. And it would kind of make sense to have that kind of star power and backup. I mean, it is WrestleMania 40. The Rock's there. He's a massive star. But to have Austin and Cena there as well, that's starstruck capability. And I'd like to see what they can do with Austin. I mean, he looked fantastic against Kevin Owens, and apparently he's still in great shape. It would be some type of run-in, I imagine, but seeing their faces on the side of the trailer was certainly notable. I don't think WWE said to anybody that it was intentional, but yes, It was interesting to see that because of every other truck does not have any branding or imaging as such. They're all WrestleMania 40 placard on, all the liveries are WrestleMania 40 themed with those matches and those people. This trailer had Cena, Stone Cold, and Trish Stratus. And people are forgetting to mention, Miss Stratusfaction. So she could be coming and being involved with this as well.
And just like with all that speculation we all had about Cena, Stone Cold, everybody probably showing up at WrestleMania, WrestleMania 40, then to see that prominently in the shot, so all these pieces are, popping together kind of. So that's what's going on. So yeah, will it happen? Will that mean anything? I don't know. We'll see going forward, but definitely got people talking a lot. And we've seen Triple H recently and a lot do this thing where he sort of like sets these little, like, I don't know, what do you call them? Hints?
Like Easter eggs.
Easter eggs.
Hints.
There you go.
He did it with Bray Wyatt's return.
Yep.
He's had a few. I will think of him as the night goes on, and I'm sure people in the chat right now will tell us some as well. But he's definitely thrown a few things. Judgment Day. He had Rhea Ripley with the purple light over in the background.
Yeah.
Before she was ever involved. He's thrown these little crumbs. He wants you to follow the trail. And I mean, that was one of the best moments that I wish I got to cover with you, unfortunately, was Bray's return, because that was so like special to see what the reaction he got from that crowd was beyond memorable and stellar. I mean, that pop was unbelievable. Everybody on their feet at a fever pitch to see him return, and the way they did it with all the the different iterations of the puppets in the audience and going to the whole thing. The whole White Rabbit vignettes and just the viral side of it. They weren't even playing the White Rabbit, Jefferson, what was it, Airplane or Starship?
Yeah.
I always mess that up. But one of them, Jefferson. Whatever.
Jefferson Airplane, I think. But
I think it's Airplane. But they always played White Rabbit, and they turned the house lights on to red. And, but they didn't do that live. They didn't do it during the TV shows. It was only during commercial breaks or house shows. But people were putting it up on Twitter. It was going viral. And so they knew what they were doing. It was just these little, you'd see the QR code with the rabbit. And so I like when things like this are added for the, I don't want to say smart fans. That's not the best term to capitalize it. But you get what I'm going for. Yeah,
I just think that they've done it before, too, in some other ways. Even going back to Bray Wyatt when they put the lanterns in the background, the fireflies on that pay-per-view 2 years ago. That was someone mentioned that too. I don't know if that's the same thing. I'm not sure if that's still Triple H or just good marketing, or I don't know. It could be part of it too. But Triple H definitely recently has done it more than usual. Has done these little slow build-ups where and AEW did this as well. AEW has done this a lot. I don't remember. Remind me if WWE has done this, but AEW started doing this thing where, hey guys, guess what? We're gonna kind of tell you he's coming, but not tell you he's coming. I almost wonder if this is WWE borrowing that in their version, but their version is sort of like that Easter egg thing, like you said, but it's super like speculative. But they know that the hardcores. The hardcores are gonna freak out. The news people are gonna freak out. The podcasters are gonna freak out. And that's going to drum up interest with, let's say 500,000 people, 500,000 people out there really pay attention to the podcasters and the commentators and people like me and you and everybody else and podcasts and whatever. But let's say, there's probably 1 million wrestling fans that don't really care too much about any of that. They just watch and who gives a shit. So, but for the ones that drum it up, they can get 500,000 people a little more invested, whispering about rumors. And some people invest a lot into it and committing a lot to believing who and what's going to happen. And a lot of other people just say, I sit back and watch and I don't know, I don't care. Yeah, I think about it, but they don't really care too much. So I think it works out for everybody is what I'm trying to say. And it also leads you to the water, and it leads you to that moment where some people are going to get super excited because the thing they thought was going to happen happened, and other people are going to get excited because they didn't see it coming, and other people are going to get excited because they're just excited anyway. It also reminds me of Jericho. I mean, go back to as far as 1999 when Chris Jericho showed up in the WWE. I mean, listen, I don't know if many of you guys may not know it, and many of you may not have been born, and many of you been young and you didn't watch yet. I don't know. But and I don't even remember 100%. But what I do know is that there were just these rumors about Jericho going to the WWE for a year. And then there were really hardcore rumors that he was going to go to the WWE. And then it sort of quieted down for a couple of months, if I remember, and we weren't sure. And then the Millennium thing was going on. And then I heard people saying, a couple of people from news sites and people at school and stuff were whispering around that, hey, Jericho's coming, Chris Jericho's going to come to WWE, I heard. And people said that, and I didn't pay too much attention. And when the millennial clock counted down, I didn't think it was Jericho. I didn't think it was Jericho. I had no idea. Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. I was like, okay, we're celebrating the millennium. So,
like I said, I didn't watch WCW, but I played the 64 game, so I knew Jericho through that.
Well, yeah, I didn't.
People said, oh, he's coming, and I was like, oh, okay. But that night he debuted, I had no idea the clock was him, and then Y2J hits the screen, and I'm like, Jericho, oh, shit.
Don't you remember, do you remember forgetting about it? Because they were pumping the clock for so long, and then all of a sudden. It was
weeks.
Yeah, weeks of nothing, and you actually forgot about it.
And it would just appear like in the right before a commercial break, they do a little stinger, and it had that burp, 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 that countdown, that big grinding countdown noise.
Yeah.
I could still hear it in my head. But
that was awesome.
Yeah, and that was just so memorable. And each week, maybe you'd see it on Sunday Night Heat that week, or not at all, or the Saturday thing, but it would just pop up occasionally. And then finally, the Rock's out cutting a promo, and then the countdown starts counting, and you're like, oh. That was one of the great, debuts WWE ever had. That one was so perfectly priceless.
Yeah, it was what a fucking time, man. That was so
they're debuting Jade at SmackDown this Friday.
You're gonna see Jade. You're gonna go try to tickle her.
I'm gonna try and get you a piece, Joe.
Oh my God, smell her for me.
I'm gonna try and bring you back some.
Oh, please smell her for me. Just give her a smell test for me.
Well, I was going to bring one of those mason jars, and I was going to be like, my friend Joe is your biggest fan, and can you fart in this jar for me so I can bring it home for him? I'll be like, he's special needs, and he loves you.
Then I'll smell and go, look at this. We got 143 votes on the poll. Who's better? WWE is winning the poll 69%.
It's like I went into a coma, because when you and I were watching, I know the COVID era was hard to deal with, and it's hard to hold that against anybody, but still, if there was better stories even at that point, a lot of the stuff we were getting with even The Fiend and Alexa Bliss and Bray and Randy, and then his face was burnt, and then he was fine, and then they burnt The Fiend, and it was all, that kind of nonsense. Now everything seemingly is just interesting, pretty much on a all around basis. There's so many great storylines, and but I will give AEW a bit of praise tonight. They did a good job with the women. We had a nice fatal 4-way match.
It's about time.
I agree entirely. And usually they don't give them a lot of time, but I'm trying to see the exact time. They brought out Mercedes Moné, and that CEO song it's getting old quick.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know how you feel, but CEO.
No,
yeah, it already
CEO. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, dude. Mercedes, I made you a song that's better than your song. Like, come on. Mine's not great, but it's better than yours.
What gets me is that they're going to go ahead and. This is for a fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership for Julia Hart's title, the TBS title, excuse me. I always mess that one up for the women. So they had Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Sky Blue, and Anna Jay. But you figure Sky Blue is, basically aligned with Julia Hart. So I'm not sure why she would be in there, because if she wins, does she just forfeit the match? But logical booking aside, Willow Nightingale looked really good. The Dr. Bomb at the end, she pinned Anna Jay. It was a good match. It was just shy, I think, of 10 minutes long. Like I said, they gave them more than just the usual one, segment of you have until the commercial break starts and then you're done. So at least they got a bit more than that. But here's my complaint. You got a really good women's match, and then Julia Hart runs in and hits Willow from behind. She smashes her in the head with a title belt. Why am I upset? Because now you don't cut the lights off? Are you kidding me? That spooky bitch goes ahead and turns the lights off even when she sneezes walking to the ring. And when you're finally going to do something about it, you're going to attack someone, your opponent, your future opponent. You want to surprise attack them. You don't turn the lights off. Did she not pay the bill? What happened here? All the time for them to do spooky shit. This was it. Like, you're going to finally hurt someone. But no, they had to go ahead and just appear in the ring a few weeks ago and then kind of back out slowly and disappear again under the... they turned the lights out constantly for her. The one time they can do it and make it look at least cool. Or imagine if you didn't see the hit. You just see Will's on the ground and she's standing over her holding, and then there's blood. They could have done so much with it, but instead, no blackout.
Yeah, they could use smoke bombs. They could have dragged her into the ring. They could have done all kinds of weirds. I mean, take it to another level. They were turning lights out. Now do something crazier, right? Instead, it's just that. Okay, that's the problem. Oh my God, brother. Help us out, guys.
Trying to
get 200 likes.
The importance of tag team wrestling. So they have this tag title tournament going on. The Young Bucks obviously take out Private Party. It was a decent match, but this was very typical Young Bucks, because now that they're heels, they're really doing the showboaty things that I disliked and didn't care for before. It was usual, but there was just a lot of they make the referee look like a total just moron so many times, with everybody either being in the ring or he could have counted to 30 sometimes, and it's so inconsistent when they have the Bucks referee. He really goes ahead and he holds fast and loose to the rules.
Yeah, I mean, there are almost are no rules.
It feels that way, but other times when they have tag matches, they do. So that's what I'm saying. The inconsistency is wild.
Guys, monetize this $4.50 this Saturday night. The belt's on the line. I'm going to play a donation. I want to thank D. Welsh. D. Welsh donated $50 earlier. If you want to insert money into me and Jake's anus, this is the time to do it. Thank you to D. Welsh, man. Dropped a $50 slobber knocker earlier.
Duncachino?
Oh.
Don't mind if I do.
Matt Cologne, what's up?
My name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Matt Cologne.
Let's go. Hi, Jake.
Oh, shit.
He likes you.
Hell yeah, Matt. See, I had my notepad, and what does it say? Rape Joe. See, I had a very important note on here. Rape Joe.
What? Rape me?
Sorry, it said call Joe. Oh, God, my eyes are getting really bad. Oh, I think
Jesus.
that was my wrong notebook.
Well. Oh, my God, brother. Where's the Tommy one? Someone get the Tommy clip. All right, we'll find it. I've got the Tommy clip. Hold on a minute. Here it is. Jake, have you heard the Tommy version of this?
Oh, I have.
It's really good. This is really good.
Oh my God, brother.
Tommy on Monetize This. I'm sure Tommy will be on Monetize This again too, or Tomney.
Oh my God, brother.
Don't get sued. Don't
got an arrow to the knee, but thank you, Matt.
Tomney
Hope you're
NC.
doing well.
Oh
To
my
open up
God,
AEW,
brother.
they were in Quebec City at the what is it, the Videotron Arena or whatever. Yeah. So Will.
You didn't make the Bell Center, Tony? You couldn't go to the Bell Center, Tony? Oh shit!
Guess who's back?
Oh my God!
Shit.
Yes!
Guess who's back? Jake is back. Grab your banana, peel it down, and pretend it's a nutsack and lick it up because Jake is back. Yeah. Stay sexy, sexy. Stay sexy, sexy. You gotta stay sexy. Stay sexy.
Sky Blues ass is donating.
That thing's good. I mean, I want to be friends with Sky Blue's ass.
Sky
Amen.
Blue's ass, yeah. I wish I had
Who
an
wouldn't
applause.
want to be? I remember when she was first shown on AEW back years ago, and you and I were like, "Damn, did you see her on Dark?" Yes, I did.
Oh, where's the crowd cheering? Let's get that right now.
Thank you, Sky Blue's ass.
So good.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I don't believe it. It's Sky Blue's ass.
Vince said he would eat a mile of her shit just to see where it came from.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a dark rabbit hole to go down.
Sky Blue is kind of amazing.
That's a lot of cake. That's some Bailey level of cake going on there.
Oh yeah. Bailey's she's got some really good bikini photos from back in the day, like back in the NXT days.
Yeah, the early times.
Yeah, she looked great.
But she
had abs.
We can deal without the Karen Bob, but the hair is iffy, maybe, but she's got a lot of junk in the trunk.
Right. And also next week, real quick, next week will be a big on Out of Nowhere.
Yeah, talking about a trunk, we got a whole trunk full of points in that briefcase that I'm lacking. I'm telling you that Nerdy's got quite the advantage if he cashes in. It's dangerous.
Oh, I didn't say monetize this. I said next week on Out of Nowhere. But yeah, you want to get into monetize this, Jake? How are you feeling?
I'm seeing the graphic, so I'm telling you, forget Out of Nowhere at this point. We got enough to build up to Out of Nowhere. Next week is going to be the WrestleMania 40 Out of Nowhere extravaganza, Joe Cronin show style. We're going to have all of our predictions for Mania weekend going on. We've got some insider news and tips that we'll be talking about. We're going to be breaking down all the latest news and rumors for everything about WrestleMania 40. Next week's live Out of Nowhere on Wednesday. You want to make sure you're here. It's going to be an action-packed, jam-filled night of fun, Joe.
This is going to be good. Next week we'll have all kinds of predictions. Now, we don't know all the WrestleMania matches still. We don't. Do we? How many do we know?
Quite a bit, but not all of them.
All right. Like, do we? I saw an article on Wrestling Inc. earlier. I got the list. Like, we can go over them if you want next week, or even just real quickly, I'll read them. And I'll tell you my level of excitement. How about that? I'll read them and I'll tell you my level. You tell me how excited you are. Well, guys, vote on the poll too. If you can, feel free to use the donation link up top, as you know, or super chat. Do all that stuff. Shoot us whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I don't think anybody's going to get ahead of D. Welsh, but maybe they will. He's only up $50 top donation. But
you never know. He's the current top dog. I'm acknowledging D. Welsh for now.
He better bring it on next week on or this Saturday. This Saturday on Monetize This, guys. Dork is looking dapper. 2,000 points. That wheel will decide it. If Rojas gets 2,000 points, who's going to get $2,000 to beat him? You know, that's going to be.
I know.
That's
no one's going to be able to. I mean, it's risky.
It is risky, and Seth won't be around, I believe, so he ain't going to help nobody.
We don't know what's going to happen. It's dangerous.
Now, going back to these matches, the first one is LA Knight versus AJ.
I've got 10 here. Is that what you have?
You know what? I don't know. It starts with LA Knight and AJ Styles. Is that what yours starts with?
Yes. All right, so I think we're on the same.
Yeah, you want to read it then?
I have it from WWE.com, so this is what I've got right now.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
You were spot on. LA Knight, AJ Styles. I'm excited for that match. I'm looking forward to seeing what these two can pull off at WrestleMania. LA Knight really feels like he has something to prove. He made this clear. All recent media tours he's done, he said it that, every moment he wants to make his. And, the things that you can't control, well, you know what? I'm not going to stress about it because I'm going to focus on the things that I can. Anytime I'm in front of a camera, anytime I have a microphone, anytime I'm in the ring, I'm going to do everything I can to make it memorable. So hearing how passionate he is and knowing that he wants to certainly be a champion, sooner than later, I'm very excited for that, undercard, mid-card match. Yeah, I'm just happy to see him get some featured match or something to do, to showcase himself, because next year he may take either a step back or a step nowhere, or he might take a step forward. And I don't know what it's going to be at this point for LA Knight. Is it going to be a step forward, or is he going to start to fade away? I don't know. I'm kind of worried about what could happen. But so AJ's probably putting him over, and it will be some kind of thing. Yeah, and Drew Barr's right. Styles is huge. He's put on some serious muscle recently. He's bulky. Yeah. And then we have the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack tag team ladder match. That's a mouthful. Oh, my God, bro. I cannot. I hope this is just a car wreck. So we've got, obviously, Judgment Day with the belts. We've got the New Day in there. You've got Awesome Truth and then DIY. I don't think we know anybody else. The last two are going to be determined on SmackDown, I believe, this Friday. Wait. Say them. Is this the same ladder match? The tag meet? Yeah, the ladder match. They have two more teams. No, we don't know who's in it yet. Yeah, I'm just hoping for chaos. That's all. Now, you think the Hardy Boys because they're back? Probably. No. Right, because that's a little weird. That's like the same thing they did the last time they came back in Mania. 33, and I don't think we'll see them. I think it's just going to be. I know they said. I'll have to look at it. I know they have the card out for SmackDown, so I'll go back to that one after. But there is a definite possibility for the Hardys maybe to do something. I don't know at WrestleMania. We'll see, but I don't know. Let's quickly go to another dono real quick here. Shit bum.
So Mania 40 is going full Starcade Sting versus Hogan? Yes.
Drew Bar 100. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I mean.
Thank you.
I don't think they'll get there. But.
Yeah, are we going to get the non-fast count of 97 Starrcade again, or what? What a disaster that was.
We'll get the slow CM Punk left-hand count. I just hope he is on commentary because I want that entertainment. I don't want the referee.
Yeah, that's the
Punk.
plan. He's going to be on commentary.
Thank God. It got dicey the other night.
Friday, Joe, we have the Street Profits against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So whoever wins that gets the first spot. And then we have New Catch Republic versus Legado del Fantasma.
All right, don't care.
And then we have Bianca Belair taking on Dakota Kai. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are teaming up again to take on Pretty Deadly. And Jade Cargill will make her first appearance as a SmackDown superstar. And we'll also hear from the Bloodline, I guess, at some point.
That's good if the Bloodline's there, because I was worried about this one. I told you this before. Like, this is the one that's near you that, you could get to.
Yeah.
But, like, it's going to be one of the, like, I almost feels like
it's the
break.
Penultimate SmackDown. It's not the last. So
yeah.
we're
It feels like there's a bit of a break going to happen on this one. Like, it's.
Yeah, we're the penultimate go home, and that's what it's coming down to. But
hopefully
yeah,
they'll be surprised. Maybe there'll be a surprise. I hope it's a surprise.
I'm just excited that, it's happening and somewhere close. I haven't been to wrestling in quite a while now, and I'm really excited to go see SmackDown. So
and lose a bunch.
Everything works out.
Gamble a bunch of money and lose it.
And maybe gamble the house away. Then we have Jey Uso, the battle of the brothers, yet again taking on Jimmy Uso. I feel like some of the hype for this died down a little bit. They were at a fever pitch at SummerSlam time, and then I know they had to kind of put it on hold, but the way it just immediately was like, we're having a match at Mania. I felt like there should have been a little more tit-for-tat escalation. I know they still have reasons to hate each other and not get along, but maybe there could have been a reason, because why have you not been killing each other this whole time then? It doesn't
add up. Doesn't make sense.
Then we have Sami Zayn and Gunther. And early prediction here, Joe. I'll give you a little thought in my mind. It might change by next week, but the way I'm taking this, I don't know if Sami can beat him. I don't know if they're going to have a title change here. I could see Gunther holding this title for longer.
Yeah, I think so too. And I got to be honest, I'm one of those people that's not thrilled about Sami. Like, I'm one of those people that wanted Gable to win, and now I'm like, oh, whatever, Sami, okay, I don't even care.
Well, you know what it is? I feel like Sami Zayn has had some really great moments. He had that amazing match with Knoxville. I'm sorry, but that was just so great. I loved the Jackass match that they had at Mania. That was superb. They made that farce into a standout performance. You cannot deny that people enjoyed themselves with all the mouse trap and the big hand and all the stunts they pulled. And then he had, the match against Roman. On his home turf, the crowd literally singing praises to his theme song to him. Then he got to go ahead and main event WrestleMania with Kevin Owens, and it's like he's gotten all these moments. I really wanted to see Chad Gable get a WrestleMania moment that really could have been something stellar. His matches against Gunther were probably some of the best, of the last year, I'd say, on Raw.
Yeah, they've been really great. I mean, because
it was super believable the way they did it too. The first time it was like, wow, that was close. Could have been an upset, but I didn't really think he'd win. But the way they played the second time and they put his daughters there they had his family at ringside. It was supposed to be a lock. Oh my God! And his daughter's crying, and he's trying to console her. Like, oh, what? They really I thought they were going to build him back up for Mania. I was shocked it did not go that way, honestly.
Yeah, and it's again, I just hope there's a couple other matches made last minute, and I hope Sami Zayn's match is good. I hope the match ends up being really good because I'm interested.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah,
I'm interested, but I don't care right now. If that makes any sense, I don't know why. I'm not interested in Sami Zayn and Gunther continue their story right now. I'm just not really that interested. But I am interested in the two of them and the match. So if that makes any sense, I'm pretty interested in the match happening.
Well, that's been my problem with AEW. That's when I run through AEW quickly with you. That was the problem tonight. I mean, the opening match they had. Osprey taking on Shibata, and it's like who knows Shibata if you're not watching New Japan previously, or they've had.
Yeah, it sounds like a Mexican dish or something.
Yeah, it's just, and again, it's like, all right, you're gonna get a good match. Yeah, it was good, but it was a lot of the hard hitting, strong style, that you usually see, and I know they're trying to like showcase Will and really elevate him, but he could have just cut another promo tonight, building towards Daniel Bryan. The two things that I did also enjoy from AEW tonight were the video packages, which I'd like you have to go back and check out if you get a free moment, because they had two, and they did one about Bryan Danielson,
the Mongoloid one.
And that was good. And then, oh crap, I forgot who the second one was. It'll come back to me in a minute. But they had these little hype packages, and I'm like, good. That's what you need. You need to build up people. You need to make people feel important again.
Yeah, no, they do, because everyone doesn't feel important, and everything feels lost in a shuffle, and they're gonna have to do a lot of work to make this. I don't even know what they can do at this point. And it's gonna be really interesting to see their rating.
Yeah,
tonight,
absolutely. And then, what's going to be interesting, and speaking of work, wet work, Joe, Rhea Ripley, the women's world champion, taking on Becky Lynch.
And
I'm really interested to see what happens here. Some people have said, oh, Becky's going to turn heel, and this is going to be, Rhea's kind of face turn. Other people have said, no, it's just going to be a clean victory for Rhea. Others have said, no, Becky's going to beat her. She has to win the title. Look at the promo she cut. So really, I don't think there's a definitive winner at this point in time. You could really vie for both people to walk out as champion.
I could see either one. I hope Rhea maybe keeps it, but
I want Rhea to retain as of right now. We'll see what happens if they change anything. But Bayley, Io Sky, that match, I'm looking forward to the match. The story I wasn't as compelled with. I like the Rumble win. It was cool to see her turn, but hopefully they really deliver here. Then we got Seth and Drew, obviously.
Is it the forgettable match? Yeah, Seth and Drew.
Seth and Drew, I think, is really going to be one to watch. Do we get a cash in here? Does Punk play into this at all? Because he's going to be there on commentary. Is Rollins going to be hurt from the night before? Does somebody attack Rollins because you saw Drew talking with Heyman in the Bloodline? I mean, there's so many little nuances of.
Is that happening on day
right
one?
Now.
Do you know if that's happening on day one?
I think that's day two. Nothing's definitive, I believe, for the days yet. But what we've seen, like internally memoed that got released, was day two. So.
Okay, because I could see like you just said.
Well, I don't think they'd have Seth wrestle twice on night one, because
right.
Night one he's got the tag match, so I'm pretty sure it would be night two. But you never know with WWE.
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be night two, I guess. I suppose.
I assume it has to be, but maybe.
But like you could have. What if Seth?
The Rock? Yeah, the Rock punishes Seth. You have to wrestle tonight because you beat me, but now you have to defend your title tonight.
Well, I was thinking more like Drew versus Seth, and Seth retains, and then at the end when he's celebrating, Drew jumps back in the ring and clips Seth and takes out his leg. And now it's a big storyline of, well, Seth going to be able to compete later on tonight? And Seth comes out with a bandage on his bad knee, and everything. So now they've got that going on. I don't know. They could add that.
And you still have the possibilities, as we mentioned earlier, of, legends getting involved. Do we see Cena? He has history with Roman. Do we see, he lost to Roman as well. Do we see Stone Cold come back to try and help Cody, stop The Rock? You don't know what's going to happen. And that's the next match on the list. Obviously, the tag match, as we're discussing it now, and that's going to be stellar. I know people aren't crazy for The Rock's wrestling, in later years, but I think for a tag match and for what they're looking to do here, I think this is going to be stellar. You've got some really great work rate talent in there who always really try, at least, to put it all out on the line. So I think they're going to give a hell of a performance, and I'm excited to see what this leads to for night two, because they could lose here and have the Bloodline Rules match, and I could see that happening. Or Cody could win and have the, no Bloodline, no interference, no BS. It really could go either way at this point in time. He just got the crap kicked out of him by The Rock. So, of course, The Rock's going to beat him at Mania. Oh, but The Rock's older and he's not as fast as he used to be, so of course Seth's going to be able to take him down. There's either way, you break it down, the cookie crumbles. No matter what. And then, of course, the next night you got champion Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes. And that one is, again, I could see Roman retaining. It sounds almost ridiculous, but who thought he would have retained last year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see anything happening. I really don't know what's going to happen. I think he will
be a
finish.
Three-peat.
I think he is going to finish the story this time around, and it's going to happen. But I don't know, man. I could see it not happening. And boy, let me tell you something. Rojas will murder somebody. Like, he's going to snap if
he's not the only one.
He's going to flip out, bro. Let me go to the donos real quick. Let's see what you guys are saying. Backed up a little bit. I see them.
Super chat.
Botch Club on Instagram. You got to follow him, guys.
I acknowledge Jake DeMarco. Cronin fan must see now.
Okay, we are going to go check out Botch Club because I don't think we did.
Shit.
I missed it last night. He's got something up on Botch Club on Instagram. We're going to check it out.
We do.
Thank you, Botch Club.
And while you're pulling that up, Joe, as we said, so the first match with Ospreay, him and Shibata, it was about, I want to say, I had about 19 minutes, 19,
Whoa.
20, something like that. So it was a long match.
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of.
No shit. Oh, John Montgomery.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9.
John Montgomery. Montgomery.
Jake, how much weight you lost? Good to see you not a fat fuck. Like that Tommy guy. Drop a Tommy drop, Joe. Ha.
All right, John Montgomery, I'll drop a Tommy drop. Here it is.
Oh my God, brother.
Every time that gets me. Thank you, John. Yeah, I at my heaviest, and you can see it on the old shows, I was 630 pounds.
What?
Yeah, at my heaviest, at the end
Jesus.
there, I was 630.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I was gigantic. Yeah, actually, you want me to embarrass myself really quick? So before I had the weight loss surgery, my buddy Nate, he was a really good friend of mine. He moved away a couple of years ago, like right as COVID started, right after I had the weight loss surgery. But before he was moving away, he needed to go and he was going to rent a car so they can go ahead and not drive theirs, whatever. So we go to pick up the rental car, and instead of getting him the larger size vehicle, that one's no longer available, but they're going to give him a huge discount. But now he has the mini economy vehicle, and he has to go with so-and-so to go ahead and drop off their stuff to go pick up the pod to ship it down to his new, he's moving out of state. Okay, now I have to follow behind him in this little itty-bitty cube car.
Wow.
And my gigantic fat ass is so big that every time I hit the brakes, my stomach beeps the horn. So every time I'm stopping, you just...
And the people in front of you think you're a piece of
they
shit.
think I'm being an asshole. People are flipping me off.
Fuck you! It's my stomach!
I just kept my head down, and Nate's in front of me, and he's crying, laughing. And it took me forever to even get in this thing. It was like, you're not getting it back in the sleeve, but just to get me in there. And every time I'm like, I'm giving myself a panic attack. I'm like, I know we got to get this vehicle back. What am I gonna do? And so I'm just like squishing my fucking fat into this little cube, and it was a nightmare.
Oh my God, brother.
Oh, but if you ever saw the people, every time I'm not, I wish I could have, that's something I wish I had filmed somewhere. Like,
Bro.
that needs to be on a Ring camera every time.
Dude, I can't imagine the anxiety because, I can't tell you how many times I'm behind somebody who sucks, but the guy behind me beeps, and then the person in front of me wants to fight me, and I'm like, I didn't do it. That's the guy beeping. Oh my God.
It sounds like I'm exaggerating. I swear on Danny, I'm not. It's all back roads too. It's not even like we're going highway. The way this place was, it was like a 40-minute drive, and the only way if you did it, you by highway, you had to take Route 9 instead, go all the way up, then take a highway down. So it was going to be like an extra 20, 30 minutes. Not worth the time sink. So it was just stopping stop and go traffic. So I'm just beeping at everybody and just mortified. Oh my God. It was so bad.
Oh man, that is too funny, man. Oh my god!
I know you're gonna love that. Oh,
it's my stomach. Like I just.
How could I walk? That's why my knee is destroyed. And it wasn't even, people see me and it was like, oh, that guy must pound cheeseburgers. And I wasn't even eating at that point. It was just all.
Let's take a look at you. You're right. You were. Wow. I guess I never.
I was massive.
Like, because I don't know if you remember this.
Because you saw me every day.
I know I saw you, right? I was used to you. I just didn't think whatever. But I guess, like, when we look at, remember when me and you went, the last time me and you went to Mohegan Sun Arena, you're going Friday. I was with you in 2017 on March 21st, actually, of 2017. 8, 9, 10, 11. So what was that, 7 years ago? Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you were
and
pretty
there
big.
I was
Remember
there I was like 380, and I had just, or almost 400, and I just, that's not even the biggest, Joe. I was bigger than that.
Oh my God, man!
My final, I was bigger than that. I was I was about 400 pounds there because I was sick already at that point in time. I was already, dealing with all the bullshit again, but I was like 400 there, and then I just kept having that constant vicious cycle where, because of the brain malformation, I would vomit, then I would aspirate the vomit into my lungs, and then my lungs would get infected, and then I'd cough up blood, and then I'd have to be on high-dose steroids so I could breathe again because my lungs would stop functioning.
Yeah,
so,
you had all kinds of medical stuff destroying you at this point. Like,
yeah,
it was crazy.
so I kept getting all the steroids and shit, but I sent Courtney a picture earlier, and I'm like, it doesn't even look like us anymore. It's crazy.
Can we even hear us here?
Bit of glistening sweat.
Barely.
It was pretty.
Oh yeah.
Good seats
overall. I think that I liked everything.
This is the first time we met too, right? Or is this not? Did we meet at the fall? We met at the Fall River Hardy show.
Yeah,
a year before this. So
yeah, we met at the Hardy show.
Yeah, this was cool though.
Everybody, I think.
Those false finishes got the crowd to explode out of their seats. The ending was fantastic.
You said explode.
So we were just going by a group of guys.
You can hear my voice sounding different there too, because that was before the throat.
Yeah, you were deep. You had the deeper voice, and you had more power in your voice. Funny enough.
Well, yeah, because I had that pus pocket. I don't know what you want to call it. I had that infection in the back of my throat, so they had to shave my vocal cords. That's why it raised my voice up.
That's crazy.
I had vomited so much that I basically developed like a little pocket of acid in the back of my throat, and it was so irritated that it got infected. And it would constantly drip like burning hot acid on my throat. So it just
there's like not a part of you. There's not a part of you that hasn't been operated on.
that was a part of it that made it hard, wanting to come back, because it was always like, hey, something else is going to keep me out, and I didn't want to come back when there was a point where I was going to be like, all right, well, I'm here today, now I'll be back for 3 months, that kind of thing. So that was part of why I was like, I want to make sure I can be back and it's not a one-off, and I missed everybody so much. I wanted to make it consistent, and a lot of times, I was like, oh, even if I could pop in, and then I ended up, more hospital trips. So
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of shit wrong with me, but I'm still I'm making it work.
But Friday, you'll be at this very location, and it'll be crazy. Like I think
Absolutely.
It'll be fun. And you're gonna have to get home, go to sleep, and get ready for your big show. I really wish.
And then
we're
getting ready for 450. I'm gonna tell you. People said, "Oh, well, Seth's not gonna be around. Possibly. What are you gonna do?" And I said, "Whoa, I mean, I love Seth, and he's the savior of the universe, but." Who thinks that I don't have Seth in my pocket? He does his will is his own, Yeah,
Seth doesn't ever vote. Well, Seth already donated for the pot, so
he
Seth
went ahead.
Dropped $1,000 for the $2,000 in the pot, so the pot's gonna roll.
He amazingly and kindly went ahead and put me into the chance to win the title. He paid to have me put in the title night because I made the tweezer, and without Joe knowing I was trying to plan to come back, you went ahead and made the announcement, hey, anybody else wants in, because we can't just have 1,000 names, $500. That's this way only serious people can go for the title. And then I came back 2 days later. So but Seth, honorable man, he donated midday, and that's why he had to replay it at night. But it worked out very, very humbly awesome, and I'm excited to see what happens, because I'm telling you what, I am walking in Mr. Two Belts, but I'm going away Triple Crown DeMarco.
It's going to be a big night. We haven't seen Dork in a long time on the show, and he's looking dapper. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to finally chit-chat with him.
People think he's going to forget and not realize there's a show. They think that.
We need to find him then and tase him.
Yeah.
Give him a little shock collar every time you got to summon him. Just wake him up.
He looks good, though, and that's looks good in the thumbnail, man. Shout out to Navonix, man, he fucking made a thumbnail that. This thumbnail is great.
That is sweet. I love that.
The great
Everybody
thumbnail.
looks amazing there.
Luke is overconfident. You got to love it. You could be adding 3 belts to the whole collection. Let me ask you this. What do you think about the opening of Raw? You know, with how they open up, and Cody's like, promo
Cody. I love the promo that he cut, and Cody can be a little whiny and crybaby mean, but I didn't take that here. I really felt the passion from him, and everything he said was. It didn't feel exaggerative. Like he wasn't just going to call the rocks on the silly names. He was out there and he was just going to stick it to everybody that is doubting him, and he was going to defend himself in the Rhodes name. And then the Rock surprisingly comes out. I love the lightning that he has now with the Tron. It looks like a superhero. It's really cool. If only Black Adam took off like that for him, Sorry, Rock, but I guess better luck next time. He can be in another Marvel universe or something. But
he tried to take over and he failed again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. He wanted to beat Superman, not be Superman.
I saw something the other day where Will Smith said he didn't want to be Superman because that's like the white people's hero or something like that. I don't know what he said. It was something like that. But basically, to me, it sounded like he just was like, I didn't want to piss people off and be, this was going back to Superman from 2006 or 3 or whatever that Returns one was. But I thought that was funny. But I don't. Does anybody like Will Smith anymore after slapping Chris Rock?
I don't. I really couldn't, side with him years before that even. There was a lot of weird stuff with him and his wife that was made public that really shouldn't have been, and all that drama. I mean, that whole.
I almost think it should have been because she was like, this guy's got to get away from this lady.
I would agree with you if he got away from her, but he's still with her and defending her. And
why? I wonder, what are they doing to each other? What does she know about him? And
she either knows about Epstein Island or her vagina literally produces unicorn orgasms.
What?
Like
why
those
are they
rare
still together?
orgasms that are so good that it lands you bad boys 4.
Or she loves controlling a guy and treating him like shit or something. It's like a weird domination thing.
She certainly does seem to have that fetish because when they interact, she always talks down to him.
Yeah, and just
consistently, she just belittles and berates him.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's like, why are you with her? And he must like it, though, which makes them actually a couple because I like being a bitch, but I don't like being a bitch, and she loves being the controlling bitch, and therefore he snaps. He's on edge all the time about being an adequate, man, so that's why he slaps another man. It's got to be what it is. We need to get some kind of psychologist on this shit. Because it's weird.
No kidding.
Duncachino?
Oh, shit.
Don't mind if I do.
Hey, Stacks Monet.
What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
I don't think Becky Lynch will go to EU. However, getting U.S. citizenship recently is way to leverage on WWE cause no green card issues.
Yeah, hey, Stacks Monet.
That's a good point.
That's a great point.
Isn't she married to Seth, though? Doesn't she get a green card?
She gets, I think she'll have dual citizenship, maybe. But she did just become a citizen, officially. But 2 months till her contract is up,
I was just curious how that worked. I didn't know if it was two different things.
She's not going to leave Seth and go to AEW. This is not going to happen.
Never. Funny enough, while we're bringing up Becky, she was talking about how horrible the allegations were, and she's like, it's really upsetting, especially because that's not the experience I ever had with Vince whatsoever, so it's like shocking to hear.
Who said this?
And Becky Lynch.
Oh, Becky, yeah. Well.
Yeah, so, she's like, hearing this other narrative, it was really difficult, and it's just, we strive for equality, and she said the usual BS speak, but she did admit, I never had, any issue with him. He gave me an exceptionally remarkable life in building what he did. She said, I enjoyed learning from him. And that's got to be the thing. Like you said, not everybody saw this side of him. So it's hard to be just immediately villainize somebody that you've spent the last 10, 15 years of your life working with once or twice, sometimes multiple times a week, in a close-knit type situation. It's hard to be like, oh, that's true. And you can't, because people have like this gratitude and guilt almost towards Vince. It's not like they all owe him a sense of debt, but it certainly comes across that way at times, you know. And now they won't mention his name, but
yeah, because people do feel, of course they do. They feel like they owe Vince something, and he helped them, and they saw a good side of Vince, and they didn't really see this side of Vince. What are they going to say about it? Yeah, that sounds kind of disgusting and stuff, but at the same time, he didn't kill anybody and didn't really like beat anybody or something. So at least he didn't do that. It's not as hard as when like friends who never saw Chris Benoit do something crazy had to figure that out. Like
exactly.
Like that's way harder. This is weird and a little shocking, and I guess just got gross to many people, and it's concerning, and it's whatever, all these things. But thank God, at least Vince didn't kill kids or something, or molest children or something, because then it would be hard to say like, oh yeah, he did give me everything I have, and that's great, and thankful for that, but I can, what a piece of shit, I don't know what to tell you. It's a different thing. This isn't not as bad. You're like, yeah, it's kind of gross, and he abused his power, and it's sleazy and stuff. But listen, this guy gave me my shot, and I never seen him do any of these horrible things to anybody. I'm not gonna, shit on him like you think I would or want me to. So I give respect to Becky. What are you gonna say? All you can do is I'm gonna tell you the truth about the guy I saw. That's it. Everything else, let the courts figure it out. I heard it. It sounds terrible, and I'm shocked.
Well, you want to have something you respect Becky for, Joe? Here you go.
Okay.
She goes ahead and she's talking about Ronda Rousey.
Oh God, that's a great. We'll get into that after this, but
yeah, and she goes ahead, and before we get into the Ronda side of things, Becky also doing little press tours about her book that she's selling, but she's talking about Ronda, and she's like, she comes from a different industry. She was a star. She should have been handled differently. And I agree with everything she says. Everybody thought, oh, she can wrestle because she had such a great first outing. And she goes, I mean this with respect, but she can't wrestle. What we do isn't something you just have one good match and then, okay, yeah, I'm off to the races. It's a craft. You have to learn. You have to be diligent. So basically she says the only reason it was good for her is because of who she worked with in the match, which was Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. All seasoned vets that know how to take bumps the right way. And the match was heavily well rehearsed. Many, many, many times. So people saw a well-rehearsed match and then said, okay, she can do this. She's ready for the title and all that. And then she got out there and she couldn't even cut a promo, never mind take a pinfall properly. She couldn't even keep her shoulders on.
And we know that when WWE is a little worried at first with a person like Ronda or somebody coming in from somewhere else, but if they see like that you can kind of get through it, there are some times where they just kind of go, all right, let's go. And they just let you do it. They just let you keep doing it. And I think they let her keep doing it, let her fail at times. And I think they allowed her to fail at times. And I think they went from starting to treating her like a star, like a mega star, celebrity, like important thing at first. And then slowly, or quickly actually, she just became another wrestler. Like you're just here like all the other people. Like that's it. And I think that part of that's good, but the part of that's bad is that they let her slip through the cracks. They needed to handle her a little bit more carefully. But also, you know what? Based on the stuff I've heard her say, I kind of think she's a piece of shit. But maybe she's not. Maybe I'm crazy. She's calling out Vince. She's calling out Bruce Pritchard. So maybe they were like terrible to her. I mean, she called out Laurinaitis, so I can agree with that. Nobody thinks Laurinaitis is a good person. Bruce Pritchard's a little bit weird, and Vince is Vince, but it sounds like they didn't care about her. Like they didn't treat her like they were like, yeah, Ronda, you're whatever. They didn't. Yeah. She wanted special treatment, maybe. But I also see from her perspective because you could tell that they just said, okay, you can do this. Yeah, Ronda Rousey, that's great. Get out there and whatever. You're just another person. Where I think Triple H and Stephanie saw her more like, hey, this is like a celebrity that we're bringing in here. Like, we got to roll out the red carpet for her and help her along. And I think Vince just saw her as another foot soldier. I guess that's got to be it. I don't know what else.
And Rousey has her book coming out next week, April 4th. So obviously she's doing press too. That's why we're hearing her tear WWE down. And then you got Bischoff trying to, basically go after her. He said, I've never had a real high opinion of Ronda. He goes, I mean, in MMA, I really enjoyed watching her. Nothing but respect for her background in judo and that she could transfer into MMA and did really well. But when she got knocked out by Holly Holm, that was it. That changed her dramatically. Even her character, her personality, her character in the UFC, she was just whiny. And
yeah,
they're not wrong. She turned into, she said, like, she was suicidal from that loss. She couldn't shake it. She said on Ellen she wanted to, no longer be here because of how it, went ahead and just completely shook her confidence.
I'm very concerned about Ronda. Like, I'm not even kidding about this. I'm very concerned about Ronda's mental state, and it could be from concussions. It could be from other things. I don't know. I'm telling you this, I'm dead serious, everybody. I am really worried about Ronda. I'm worried about what she could do to herself or what she could do in the future. And I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. The way she's talking and the way she's acted over the last 5 years, 6, 7 years, whatever it's been, and going forward. So I'm a little bit concerned, but hopefully my concerns
Joe, though, not to cut you off, though, but here is kind of the issue. Like, she does have some legitimate things, but she's like, now I can finally be open about everything. She's like, the slap from Stephanie, when she really hit me hard, she gave me a concussion. She goes, Nikki Bella gave me an open hand slap, and I was seeing stars. I had a headache for the rest of the day. And she said she hid her symptoms because she didn't want to be forced out of her spot. She worked hard for her. But then that's why she was doing poorly, because she was wrestling with all these concussion issues. So, I mean, she did get legitimately hurt, and I understand why she's upset. And she's like, so now I put all this behind me. I can finally be open about these things. She goes, there's certain things you can't fake, like the slaps. And
there's so many other wrestlers that could do that, though. They could, almost all the wrestlers could say, yeah, this person hurt me, and I got hurt at this point. It's like everybody. Like, so I don't think she understands, like
that's my point. I don't think she got the wrestling business. I think she thought, like, oh, I'm not going to get hurt here. I just fought people for real. This is fake. I don't think she knew how grueling. People see wrestling and they're like, oh, that mat is not comfortable. It's not. It's wood slats.
She took a lot of criticism too, which really hurt her and bothered her, and so now she's pouring out the excuses, sort of. Like, that's
she lashed out at the fans big time. She went and she really went ahead, and it's like, but she wasn't supposed to be a heel at the time either. So when she was lashing out at the fans, then they booed her more as a face, and it just really, it fell on her ass. And then when she tried to turn heel, that didn't seem believable because she had no confidence on the mic. So it just felt like she was screaming insults generally at people instead of having a promo. And I mean, you hear about some of it, and she was, talking about how Bray Wyatt was, really good. He gave her advice and said, just so you know, these people aren't your friends. No matter how nice they are, no matter what they say or how they act, we're always just going to be pieces of meat to them. Get in, make your money, and get out.
Yep. That's right, Ronda. You'll be a piece of meat to them. That's exactly right.
But that's exactly, and Bray's not wrong. So, I mean, it's good that he kind of gave her that reality adjustment mindset. That's why she wanted to resign then.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, if you guys have a topic, a subject, or something you want to bring up, we're coming towards the end of the show here. So if you want to say something, drop a super chat, leave a Streamlab, whatever you want. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, and I'm going to play the remaining donations, and then me and Jake will give our closing, whatever we want to say is. And then
we'll finish going through AEW quickly.
Yeah, we got a little bit of AEW left. Shout out to everybody who watched it. We got a poll up in the chat. You can vote on the poll. If you're a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, me and Jake are going to be dropping another Jake and Joe podcast on there. Me and my wife will be dropping another podcast, Till Death Do Us podcast, me and my wife. That'll be
returning.
Oh,
Hell
it's
yeah.
back again. It's been 6 months or something, so it'll be a little bit of that. Shout out to all the sexy pantses in the chat, and even all the mongoloids in the chat. Even you demented fucks, we like you too.
Oh my god, brother.
Let's play the donos.
Come on out, you rapist!
Oh, That is Deluxe247. He became a member. Deluxe, if you're still here, give me a 69 in the chat, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member, man. Thanks very much. And we're also going to shout out Botch Club. We're going to show some videos of Botch Club in a minute. 69,000 followers. They're almost at, oh my God, bro, they're almost at 70,000 followers. We've known them since.
Crazy.
We've known them since
since they started.
Yeah, the 100. It's Jesus, that's crazy. Botch Club. Go check out Botch Club, guys. Follow them. You might get them to 70,000 by Mania. That'd be great for them.
Duncachino?
Catching up to me.
Don't mind if I do.
And Deluxe is donating now. Holy shit. Thank you, bro.
You want creamy goodness?
I'm your friend.
Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
Welcome back, Jake. I've never seen so many fans ho-hum through matches like tonight's Dynamite. To me, the show is coming off like a well-produced indie fed.
Yes. Like an indie fed or just like New Japan America. It doesn't it's like it feels cool in some ways, but it does not. It's dropped a level. The AEW was a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'd say they were a solid 7 out of 10 for a while, maybe 6 7s. They were in there. They feel like a flat, I don't know, 5 now. I mean, you don't like it. I don't really like it.
No, and that's the problem too. Like they said, I texted you earlier, so you have the
Proof.
receipts. I said to you, this crowd is just awful tonight, and part of me can't really blame them.
And they're giving away tickets and 3,000.
Yeah, who in
seats.
Canada wants to go see Shibata? Is that really what they came for?
Yeah, there's about 200,000 people in all of Canada who might know who Shibata is, right? Maybe 2,000 people in the entire country, right? So
exactly.
in Quebec,
a 20-minute match spanning,
I don't even think that many people know who he is, unfortunately.
And that's the thing. Like, they didn't have any build-up, so there's no reason. Like, you're going to cheer for Will, but he's going to win because this isn't somebody that poses a threat or that's there often. So there's really no benefit to this match happening. All it does is add a chance to risk him for injury before the Bryan Danielson match. Speaking of Bryan, that's when we got the video package afterwards, and that was really good. And we had a little backstage thing of Renee interviewing the Young Bucks, and they told her to smile. And wasn't that the Vince line that Vince said to her? And then she looked really pissed off as they walked away. So that was their little Easter egg tongue-in-cheek moment themselves.
Love it. I kind of like how the Young Bucks are being, but I can't figure it out, man. I don't feel a lot. I don't explain it. By the way,
it's too hokey for me because they could be pricks and bad guys, but they're really doing a lot of the cheesy stuff. And I know they're trying to be funny with it, but like tonight, I was complaining about the referee before. So they go out and they grab the ring bell, and I don't know if it was Matt or Nick, but the Bucks, they grab the ring bell, they go in and they go to use it, and they're gonna hit. No, that's all right. The ref's gonna take the bell away, but now the other Young Buck goes ahead and kicks the guy in the balls. So all right, it's behind
they do that a lot.
Back. But now it was just continual of making the ref look like just a total fucking dipshit. Like I said, with the counts and just being on the outside for so long, and it just wasn't. And it wasn't a great match, but that was 15 minutes long. Private Party. I mean, it was just a lot of nonsense. Like I said, didn't feel good. Didn't seem like it was a needed match.
Yeah. Didn't
we
like
had
Mercedes Monet.
Jake is back.
Oh, she's back, and Jake is back too.
Jake is back. Grab your banana, peel it down, and pretend it's a nutsack and lick it up because Jake is back. Yeah, stay sexy, sexy. Stay sexy. Gotta stay sexy. Gotta stay sexy.
Sexy. Stay sexy.
Jake is back.
Hope to see you SmackDown on Friday, Jake.
Oh,
Big sexy.
You might run into Z-Pain.
That'd be awesome.
At SmackDown. Yeah, guys, look for Jake at SmackDown in Mohegan Sun. He should be there. And Z-Pain, nice Manny Ramirez, 24 for Jake's return. Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
I wish I was going, man. I wish
I'm heartbroken you're not going. I still keep hoping, like I said, you'd surprise me and be like, I'm going.
I know. I wish I could.
Speaking of sad moments, Joe, I have had surgeries less painful than listening to Mercedes Moné, Sasha,
my God.
on commentary. She legit said, "I love Chris. She's got strong and strength."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like
she sounded terrible last week, and she's like, "I'm here." Her promo sounded awful, and it sounded bad.
She's never had great promos. I've never been a Sasha fan. I always thought she was kind of overhyped and a bit over embellished with how much people fawn over her. But
I think the NXT promos were all right, and I remember thinking she'll get better, and then it got worse.
The matches were good, and she could act like that boss bitch quite well. But,
yes.
But it's funny how that's the only thing she could ever cling on to. Like, even Bayley developed her character more as time went on. She's had a few different iterations now.
Yeah.
She had the young Bayley buddy thing, then she destroyed that, went heel, then she had this group she formed, and now she's rebelled from them. We've had changes. But Sasha just stayed the same and kept having worse wig problems.
Yeah, I just,
she had a great match at Mania with Belair, but and she wasn't horrible in the ring, but I felt like there were so many other people that stood out.
Yeah,
that it kind of made her, and she was kind of the afterthought for a while. Initially, she was with what was that, Team Bad, or she was like in the third off to the side team with Tamina and somebody else.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, they really. I mean, dude, they didn't know
they just totally
blew her. They blew her on the roster, but she didn't do as well, and they didn't treat her well enough. It was it's a combination of things, just like everything else. Like they didn't really do the right things with her on the main roster, but yet they gave her chances and gave her moments, but they never did the right thing ever in the end with her. And then now she's in AEW, and it's like, I don't know. We'll see. Her matches are probably going to be better, but yeah, her speaking, she sounds like Kamala Harris nails on a chalkboard for whatever reason at this point.
But sadly, I'm praising the women getting 10 minutes.
My name? Duncachino. It's a
Broken Lion.
Duncachino. You want crazy?
Oh shit.
I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I think Rasheen's is retaining at Mania because why ain't they more focused on The Rock and Cody in the tag match but not Cody and Roman? Jake, be honest, Joe seen the beef.
Wait, he thinks that Reigns is retaining. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I think a lot of people think it could happen. I think I'm 50-50, to be honest. I actually know. I'll say Cody wins, but it is close.
Yeah, I've said before, I could really see Roman going ahead, retaining, and continuing for like somebody's record. What's he got to take down next?
Yeah,
they'll find a way. But honestly, I really thought he was going to lose last year. So, and how many times did we think Roman was going to win? Remember he lost to Brock again. We're like, oh my God, he's never getting this damn title. It just continued over and over.
Yeah, and now it's been like 3 years. Guy won't lose a goddamn thing. Thank you so much, Broken Lion OG, for dropping the $10. The Dunkin' Dog Nuts, baby. Duncachino. We got more coming in here real quick, I think. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, shit.
We got a big one coming in.
Donator.
Yes, new top donator. It's
Black. Black Lab. Gay in my face, I want that gay. Let's get gay. It's a party if the gays. I love gays. I love gays. I want gays. I'm not straight. I want gays.
Oh!
I want that gay up in my
Jake, watch this, Jake.
Let's get so gay. Let's get so gay. And I love gays.
Yeah.
Joe by God Cronin.
By
Still
God.
alive and kicking it always on this chat. Rhea has grown on me, so I hope she beats Bex.
Yes.
That cake, that huge glorious cake that can hold my candle and anyone can make my wish come true. Ha ha, come.
Oh my God, brother.
Ha come. Like, oh my God, I gotta go to the live stream to hear that. Oh my God, let me hear that. I gotta hear that again.
It's a party.
Oh my God, come. I'm like a 12-year-old.
Oh my God, brother.
Oh, there's me jizzing.
While we're waiting for it, that's the other thing that I told you. Besides Dustin Rhodes promo, it was Tony Storm. She went to Turner Classic Movie set with Ben, what is it, Mankiewicz or whatever the hell his name is.
Who?
I just forget it. The guy from Turner Classic Movies. I forget his name.
I don't know
Ben
who it is. Black Lab.
Something like that, but they did a little funny thing. So it makes sense because he's always showing the black and white movies, and now she's in black and white.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah, dude, Tony Storm is... I don't know if I'd buy a ticket, but close. I would be looking forward to Tony Storm if I bought a ticket.
I can believe that. So then, like I said, I'm not crazy about it, but I see why people like it as well. Orange Cassidy and Trent took on Matt Taven and Mike Bennett with Roderick Strong, and this was for the tag title tournament. It like we said, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta defeated Matt and Mike in 9 minutes. I think it was like 9 or 10 minutes. So
they never get respect.
You'd have to watch it. It was a bit confusing because the referee he missed something, and it was basically like somebody got hit in the nuts and then slammed into the turnbuckle, and they just got the pin quick, and it was like, okay, Orange Cassidy won. Like, it just felt like that was the ending. Like, it came out of nowhere, and it was very anticlimactic and sloppy. It was like, all right, I see them going for the spike pile driver, and then, okay, your nuts are on the ropes, and match is over. But what is the point of the Undisputed Kingdom? Why are they losing everything?
Right.
Aren't they the Ring of Honor tag team champions anyways?
Yeah, Ring of Honor's fuck Ring of Honor.
So they lost. Yeah, so they just lost this match. That makes a ton of sense. And then on top of it, they had Wardlow get beat. I mean, so this group is dead.
Why is Mike Bennett a curse everywhere he goes? What is this?
Poor guy just can't catch a break unless it's a bone in his body repeatedly. Like, I fail to see how. Am I going crazy? I mean,
no,
honestly,
like what, the devil and this big group, and they're so crazy. Wardlow sucks. They suck.
Yeah.
What are they? They're a bunch of jobbers who are like a threat but they don't win, so they're on the low totem pole fodder at this point. How can this group be a group full of fodder? They're lower than the Judgment Day. They should be one of the biggest things in AEW. Like, what are they doing? You're right. I can't even believe that.
You're not wrong.
That's crazy. Dude,
That's the devil. They took out MJF. They made Samoa Joe champion. They've done nothing since because, Adam Cole's broken ankle or foot, whatever it was, takes up precedence. And so then why have any of the story happen? I mean, now you just have nothing. MJF isn't around. I would love nothing more than Roman Reigns to retain because he got MJF involved.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you see Cody, 1, 2, lights go out, and then the Burberry scarf is on.
I'm starting to wonder that, dude. I'm starting to believe MJF is coming because, dude, why aren't there vignettes or cameos or why aren't there
report mention something?
Right, a report, an interview. Why haven't they done the Jim Ross sit down with a guy who's injured? Jim, my leg's broken and this and that and blah, blah, blah. None of that has happened. Why the fuck aren't they reminding you of who MJF is once in a while?
Literally, the entire time anybody's been out, you usually get, I remember Adam Cole, they gave steady updates, plus he was on the reality show. So, but they showed how he was faring and how his progress was coming along. You've seen him do it for several people that are injured. MJF was your top star, and the reason he got injured is because you guys overworked his ass to do long-ass matches and, pull off some pretty miraculously unsafe stunts. And he went through with all of it and put his body through hell for what? A non-memorable title reign that was piss poor and is basically barely a footnote in AEW history. He should have never have gone face, or if they were going to do it, they really should have went ahead and planned better.
And where's Britt Baker?
Yeah, we haven't seen her in ages. There's, that's my point about the AEW ticket sales I was mentioning earlier. It's not like, all right, this Friday we're going to see Logan Paul, we're going to see LA Knight, because it's not only advertised, but I know they're on that roster. No, you may not see The Rock or something, but you know who. with Dynamite, you're not guaranteed to see anybody because sometimes people don't come out for 3-4 months. Then they're there for 3 weeks in a row, and then they disappear. So which which point in time is it? Are you going to be able to see them or no?
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, people are injured sometimes, and that happens, whatever. But like you said, you have no idea who you're going to see when you're going to Dynamite. You just don't know what the fuck is going to happen. And so if you're buying tickets 3 weeks to 4 weeks in advance, you have no idea what's happening.
No.
Not a clue. And then if they do advertise someone, do you want to see Honky Tonky Bono versus Mitsuyashi Zuccarello? Like, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I watching? And Jericho, I guess, will be there maybe. It's oh my God, bro. I hate to say it. It's on death's door. It's becoming sad. Jericho goes out there and looks rough. Like, they need to, like, dude, listen, I love Jericho. Everybody knows this. I love Jericho, love his theme, love his fucking entrance. I love Jericho. I really do. I love Jericho so much. But, dude, when this company started, Jericho was the top heel with the belt. He was the champion. He was awesome as the
I wanted
the guy.
Hangman to win. Remember?
Yeah.
I was an idiot, and I was like, oh, it could be. And you're like, no, Jericho needs this. And then he had the bubbly promo, and he was out there being a true heel. Cody said, if I don't win, I'm never going to try for the belt again. We had all these massive stipulations, and it was like you really kind of wanted to tune in because it was not all the time must-see, but there were a lot of angles that, I want to see what happens
Well, Jericho
next.
was doing the Roman thing. You know what Roman's doing now, Jericho was doing it to a smaller extent in AEW. It was like
Absolutely.
He was always retaining and coming out and being a badass with the belt. And I would say that they should put the belt back on him and let him do that again almost, but they're doing it with Joe. But my point in saying that is right now Jericho's rating, like if you were to rate Jericho after the first 4 months of AEW, you'd be giving Jericho like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, this is a guy, 8 out of 9. But if you were to say, what's Jericho's rating right now in the company? It's like 5.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
so
55, 60
and
around
he's
there,
like,
yeah.
And he's like one of the stars who helped launch the company. And now the company's in shambles, and he looks like half alive.
Absolutely. And Excalibur's talking, running his mouth 1,000 miles a minute, saying that Bryan Danielson is going to team up with Claudio and Shibata on Saturday at Collision to take on Vincent, Dutch, and Lance Archer.
All right. Who cares?
I mean, we like Vinny for his Ring of Honor cult leader kind of crazy stuff was
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Like it
with the red balloon. He killed you at one point in time.
Yeah, if I like him because I know him kind of, but that's about it.
But that's it. That's what I'm saying. But there's really nothing to it. So they're gonna have them face Shibata, Claudio, and Danielson. So you're talking about look at how far Bryan has fallen from grace.
And they got rid of Kevin Kelly on commentary, who was a guy who I was like, yes, this guy gives us a new, fresh commentary on Collision on Saturday nights. I love Kevin Kelly. This is great. I'm going to tune into Collision. Now Kevin Kelly's fired.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and for the most ridiculous stuff ever. And,
right.
And yeah, Lance Archer should have gotten a good push years ago. He could have had the title.
He's awful.
There was a little point in time where I remember the match he and Brian Cage had, the two big guys. They were doing top rope maneuvers, and it was great. But there was also a bit of rivalry there. Now, I mean, the match tonight was Swerve taking on Takeshita. That's your main event. And, yep, it's for #1 contendership. So there's a very little bit of story there. Oh, they're in the same faction, right? So, okay, it's like friend versus friend or ally versus ally. But they really didn't sell that point either, I don't feel like. It just was kind of like, there's the match. They had it go, past the normal time, so anybody that only DVR'd it won't get to see it. And we went ahead and Swerve Strickland beats Takeshita. It was like a 21-minute match, somewhere around there, I believe. And, for what I saw, it was a lot of, the usual hard style, the headbutts, and, that ends with a JML driver. So I'm happy that Swerve's going to be going ahead and facing Samoa Joe. That'll probably be a really good match. Hopefully it turns out good. But I'm not too confident, with how everything's going. So we'll see. But it'd be nice to see Swerve get the title because Joe's not doing anything with it.
I guess, yeah. And I think there's a problem now with the belt. It's the writing, it's the booking. It doesn't matter. It actually feels like to me it doesn't matter who does what or who has what. I don't even care. The belt means nothing right now to me.
Joe, there's too many belts. There's too many people.
There's too many belts.
They
too many
have
people.
way too many people.
Suck.
They need to fire like a third of the roster because, like I said, you don't get to put everybody in week after week because there's too many people to cycle through. Even when they split between the Wednesday and Saturday show, there still was too much to handle. You know, so besides having an unlimited budget behind them, they don't have to worry about if they don't make themselves profitable. That's a helpful thing for them. So they have that backing, you know, kind of not unlimited budget, but you get, you know, close enough. He's got quite a bit of money to cover the cost. So if they're not making any type of positives here, it doesn't matter. The guys are still going to get paid. So the wrestlers don't have that bloodthirst of, I'm only getting my money if we're, you know, WCW is doing well. And when WWF's doing well and they're not coming for the water coolers, then we're getting paid more. Now it's, you know, it's flat contracts. I get that, but there's not that drive either. So the two, they had a good match. And, you know, it made the crowd come alive. They were chanting at the end there. But this kind of thing, this match, this could have been saved for a pay-per-view. I know, again, I'm saying, like I sound a bit ridiculous, but this match, even for the number one contendership, they should have saved for the pay-per-view because this you could have added like another 5 minutes to it, and it would be a 5-star match. I mean, the crowd was on their feet for a huge holy shit because Swerve he tries to get his finisher, and then when he's going for the driver, Takeshita gets over to the apron, and then Swerve hits him with the stomp right there, and then he pushes him back in the ring, and the chant is just going wild of holy shit. And you're like, all right, this is, you know, got some good movements. But overall, they should have saved a you know, friend and friend facing off as foes match for the pay-per-view. You could have milked this, had promos against each other, had, you know, time to build things up. I guess we're just getting matches. And I used to say, like, oh, I want some really good matches. But NXT was great because they had the matches early on with the black and gold with the stories. That's why, you know, you liked Sasha. That's why I like DIY and I liked, you know, Aleister Black and whatnot. When was the last time we saw the House of Black? Should we start putting them on, like, milk cartons too, or what?
I thought that maybe Aleister was leaving again or something, and it was just Julia Hart was left or something. I thought that's what I heard, that just Julia Hart's left. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it.
It doesn't look good. I mean, and who cares anyway? So, like, you know, what a mess.
It really doesn't.
Let me just shout out real quickly. Chief Wahoo, man, he gifted 5 memberships again. Jake got one. Jake, you got one from Chief Wahoo.
Well, thank you, Chief.
Cody,
Hell yeah.
Cody Guada, Sapphire Stars, Junior Lopez, Robert Wilson, and Botch Club dropping another dono.
Super chat party.
Thank you, Botch Club.
I collaborated with Tide and WWE for WrestleMania.
That's right. Botch Club is always collabing with Tide in WWE, by the way. I think if everybody follows him, guys, I think we can get close to 70,000 by WrestleMania for Botch Club on Instagram. Go to their TikTok too.
Well, you know he's clean with all that Tide.
Oh yeah. Hey, remember when I got in trouble because I did the Tide Pod video?
Delicious snack. Yes.
Oh my God, how dumb was that? And I didn't even eat the fucking Tide Pod. I don't even remember the song. It was like Tide Pods. I eat them every day.
Yeah. It was funny, though. I remember that.
Oh, what assholes. Well, we're going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you guys can click that like button. I'll take a snapshot of the poll because it looks like 70% of you think WWE's better. 15% of you like both just as much, which is cool. But only 10% liked AEW better. That is how much we've dwindled down.
Come on out, you rapist!
Kind of crazy. Jake DeMarco, there it is. You got the membership.
Woohoo!
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Wahoo.
Chief Wahoo.
Yeah, really quick before we go, we don't know Drew's status for his contract situation. It's set to expire, I guess, the day after WrestleMania 40 is what I've last heard.
Well, they got to sign him now. This Punk thing is crazy.
How could they not? I imagine they will. He might be like vying
Jake,
for
think
more
about
money.
this. Think about the bargaining power Drew has, right? Because they got to sign him, and it's so cool. He's got such bargaining power. Think about Becky, though. She has no bargaining power because there's no way they're going to sit down at a table and think, yeah, Becky, you might leave your husband, Seth, and go somewhere else. However, they could piss Seth off. So I guess
they don't
she's
want
got
to
that.
ruffle feathers there. Exactly.
So maybe she is in a good situation.
just like MJF, not knowing what's going on. We knew his was expiring. I mean, he told us all the time, the bidding war of 2024. I would love to see Triple H or somebody give him a ton of money. It would be interesting, that's for sure. We'll see what happens.
Give the guy $2 million. Fuck it. Give him $2 million for 3 years. And because or even if he only gets $1 million or gets whatever, he gets less. I could see Cody saying, "Listen, man, come here and do this because this is where you dream to be in, and this is the biggest lights, the biggest whatever. You'll be the biggest star. You'll live forever off this. And if you go, and you can always go back to AEW. They're always going to take you back, probably. So, Sapphire Stars, congrats. So yeah, I think the best play would be. I used to think it was make them bid against each other, take the higher offer. Now I think it's just you go to the biggest place you can because you're young, and you'll have any option you have after that contract's up. So, I think that, I think that I think he could go to WWE, and we haven't heard from him in AEW, and that's very suspect.
I know, surprisingly. And next week, obviously, big out of nowhere, as we said, we're going to go ahead and cover all of the WrestleMania 40 news, rumors, everything, top to bottom. We'll give you our predictions more in depth. We'll also see what matches they've added to finalize the card. Are they going to have a Andre Memorial Battle Royal, or will that be on SmackDown next week? Also, starting Wednesday, April 3rd, so this upcoming Wednesday, before you go ahead and check us out and out of nowhere, you can go to WWE's Twitter and watch their new show. So it's called #WWE Speed. The matches are 3 minutes long, and it's a tournament bracket to crown the new Speed champion. So you have 3 minutes to beat your opponent. And if it's a draw, then no one moves on.
Man, I don't know if I like that, but
it's supposed to be like rapid pace, that's why it's called Speed. So I think it's got an interesting premise. I don't know if it has staying power.
I got a better idea.
Something cool.
I already got a better idea. In real wrestling, right? In actual amateur wrestling, when you pin a guy's shoulders to the mat, the referee checks, and then boom, one. That's a pin. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's a pin. It's one. It's a pin. So why not do that? Why not do, if you get someone's shoulders pinned, 1 count, you're done. So instead, it's not a 3 count. It's just 1, and you're done. And that would make me believe that a match could end in 3 minutes a lot, and that it might not make it.
That is interesting because, you figure that, how else are you going to manage? But they're saying they're going to be going all out.
Well, it helps because
it's going to be exclusively on Twitter as well. So
it's going to hurt the believability of all the other matches that always go much longer than that, and there are 3 counts everywhere. It would be much more it would help the believability of everything if they changed the pins, so that would speed up the matches because you only get a 1 count. If you take a shot to the head the wrong way and fall over and you go down and the referee, boom, 1, you're out, you win. That's it. So they got to do that, man. Listen, WWE, you listening to me? Please fix that. You got to do. You can't do 3. You can't do it. And a submission hold, I would change, a submission hold. If you get put in a submission hold for a long enough period of time, the match is over, even if you don't submit, something like that. Things like that. There's no rope break. I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
No, because I'm curious to see how they're going to pull it off. Like you said, 3-minute matches, and the Speed Championship is the ultimate prize with this tournament. We'll see what happens. It's going to be on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And the producer is none other than Pete Dunne. So, interesting.
That's funny. He's great, though. I wish he was, in my pants. But no.
One thing, we're on our way out. I just wanted to say that I don't know if you've noticed lately, but Sami Zayn was doing pre-Mania interviews, and he was talking about how different the production has been lately. He said, it was different when it was under Vince for all those years. It was like we just found ourselves in a box because, that was natural. When you find out what works, you just do more of that, and then you just have your own little box. You get stuck in it. He's like, now, he keeps going on with his metaphors, but basically he's saying now they're able to try new things. You're not seeing the harsh camera cuts and quick zoom-ins anymore, or at least not as much.
Yeah.
He said, whatever you want to hear or say about WWE, but the people that work here are the best in the world at what they do in front and behind the camera. He says, I walk around backstage and I'm just in awe looking at production, being like, how do they do this every week? It's so impressive. And he's right. You think about it. They have live TV every week reliably.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. And you can see the production difference in the camera stuff which is a huge thing for me. And that shot with The Rock and Cody at the end the other night in the rain, it looks so good. And AEW can never shoot like that, but it just looks so pristine, but not in an overproduced way. Like, oh man, it was
WWE
good.
used to try and not show the tarps either. They would go ahead and hide it. As where AEW, they're in the lower arena tonight, and it's smaller, and I would have filmed it level so you can't see past the second tier of fans, and this way you just think there's more, but behind that there's no people, so you see the third section, it's just empty. So it kind of takes your mind out of it a little bit. The way I was like, oh, that's kind of, so I would have had them just kind of limit it, but c'est la vie.
Well, it's great to be back here on Out of Nowhere with all you guys. We're probably super tired. Black Lab is the top dog of the night, $69. Thank you to Black Lab. He beat out D. Welsh. You sexy
Hell
beast,
yeah.
Black Lab. We love you. And don't forget, we're just a few days away. Saturday night, guys. You got to be here with us for Monetize This. 450. We're going to have fun. We're going to be loose. We're going to be weird. We're going to be offensive. I'm going to talk about a lot of shit. We'll talk about whatever I'll be all night. It's going to be a big night. It's going to be me versus Luke versus Jake versus the Dork Knight for the Monetize This championship. Jay Menace looking like he just stole something there. And, of course, in the background, Nerdy does have the points in the bank. He could cash in.
Bastard.
He could cash in at the beginning of the show and join all of us in the night. Or he could cash in at the end of the night after somebody else has been crowned champion, and he could face them one-on-one at the very end of the night. Who knows what the hell is going to happen. Monetize This 450, one of the biggest episodes that I can remember in a long time, and it's this Saturday night, starting probably around 9:30 or so. Be here. Jake is going to be here. He's gonna be honest, he's the strong favorite, but at the same time,
I don't know. I've heard through the grapevine that people are they're voting another way. So.
I don't know. Either way, I think the pot is the one that's gonna decide it. Because let's say
you got pot? Sweet.
No, I don't. No, the pot with the 2,000 points, no. Oh, we gotta find is that episode of Monetize This where I took the pot brownie, the pot chocolates.
Yes.
And I freaked out, and then Leah had to come run the show. I can't remember. We got to find out what episode that was, because I want to watch it again and get some clips from it, because it's funny. I
had to get edibles for SmackDown,
Really?
Yeah, have to.
Oh God, I'd be running around on Smack I get dry mouth and crazy now. It'd be insane. Anyway, thanks to Black Lab. For 69, man. Thank you guys. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight. Again,
yes, love you all. Stay sexy.
Good night, baby. Thanks to Jake, Botch Club, Black Lab, Broken Lion, Z Payne, who might see you on Friday, Deluxe, Haystacks Monet, John Montgomery, Drew Bar 100, Sky Blues Ass, Matt Cologne, D Welsh, Allison Tuckwab, who dropped $10 twice the other day after the show was off the air. Sorry to Allison. We missed those. Just wanted to shout out Allison. And we'll see you for Monetize This Saturday night. I may not be live at all. There's a possibility I might be live Friday for a little bit. But if not, guys, this Saturday night, don't miss the show. Be a part of this. Okay? And by the way, every dollar equals a point. So if you donate $100 to Jake, it's 100 points to Jake. But remember, at the end of the night, we spin the wheel, and it's got 2,000 points in it. That is going to be... Yeah. Oh my God, bro! The advantage is going to be nuts.
That could sway the entire board. I mean, really, someone in last place could be in first with that.
You are fucked.
Yep. If it don't land on you, you are. Tommy, take us out. Tommy, go ahead.
Oh my God, brother.
All right. Thank you. All right, Jake. I'll let you get out of here. You don't need to stick around, right? You want to go to bed?
Yes, sir. I will catch you soon enough, and
all right.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, baby. I'll catch you later. I'll talk to you on Facebook.
Sounds
all right.
good.
Love you, brother. You're looking good.
I love you, baby. Stay sexy, everybody. Have a good night.
I'll rip that shirt off of you.
Ooh, bring it.
Good night, Jaggy. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Purple pool. Oh my God, brother. Oh my God, brother.
Thank you, Tommy. Slob 75. Oh my God, throwback.
Oh my God, brother.
Oh. God, feed me Omega.
On the Joe Cronin show, who thought it'd be cool for me to come on here. I really enjoy being on the show. Finally, after all these years of Joe being a pussy, being an idiot, I can finally come on here and talk about, my Fat Body Burner Extreme, available on Amazon.com. And the fact of the matter is I always knew Joe was a good guy, but he was working with this guy. JD, and that guy's a piece of shit. And I just figured shit floats together, and that's why I thought, this guy, I've heard rumors online that he molests cats, all kinds of weird stuff like that. And I saw him, I'm like, yeah, that guy definitely does that. So I'm like, no, I gotta fuck with that guy. So I figured Joe was a piece of shit too. But the fact of the matter is I'm here to tell people to knock off calling me a pussy online, because when I see you in person, it's a different story. Just like Joe, you came up to me shaking, to shake my hand, and I know you said you had the balls. You had the balls to say sorry. Well, JD from New York just sat in the background, scared, videotaping. And if anybody really if you ever see me in person and fuck with me, and you fuck with me on Twitter or somewhere else like that, I will fuck you up. I will finish it. And I will masturbate all over you. Gurgle, gurgle.
As today, Ric Flair announced the end of his relationship with Wendy I don't know, some Wendy gold digging bitch. I don't know, whatever it is. He announced the end of the relationship. So it's all over for Ric Flair. Ric Flair today announcing that his relationship with Wendy Barlow is over. So that's very sad. Also, in a semi-unrelated note, Ric Flair just took to Twitter to announce he's got AIDS. I snatch. I think we really made some progress, and we'll continue these counseling sessions as long as we can, unbeknownst to him, because I think it benefits him. I think he needs this. And so just nobody tell him about this.
Hey, Joe, what's going on? It's me, Ryback. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to have this therapy to get these things off my chest and send you messages. If you can hit me back as soon as possible, that'd be great. I'm having cravings again. It's really bad this time. I've been thinking all day long about just taking Undertaker's ass, having his ass, having my way with his ass, and while I'm penetrating Mark Calloway, I'm eating chicken nuggets on my channel live in front of a bunch of people, and the whole chat room saying Joe Cronin, and that's making me angry because I'm trying to take Undertaker's ass, and I can't come. And your name is coming up, and I'm getting really angry. And I thought about earlier I would go to the supermarket and rape people, but I'm not going to do that. So so I'm just telling you that I'm calmed down a bit. I'm pretty calm right now, and I have my hand in my pocket, and I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take a dump. I'll call back later if I get cravings again, but I just called you to tell you I avoided continuing these thoughts about taking the Undertaker's ass, about taking him, taking it.
Oh, damn. Oh, we're actually getting a phone call. Hold on a minute. Let me go. Oh, man, we're getting a call from none other than the man himself. We were supposed to do a podcast, but he's calling in right now. Brian Cage. What up, Brian? Hey.
Joe, it's me, Brian Cage.
Yeah, I know. What's up? What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I got to go off on a bit of a rant here. I don't know what they're doing with me here, Joe. I'm a beast, all right? My girlfriend says I'm a sex freak in the bedroom.
Okay.
And they ain't doing with me anything here in AEW, man. I'm better than this.
Yeah, listen, a lot of people think that you are. You are. We get it.
Exactly. Listen.
Yeah.
You know it. You know it. All the people listening know it. That I'm a freaking Italian sausage.
Oh.
I'm a stallion, Joe. I'm Brian freaking Cage. I got the rage in a cage, and I'm ready to unleash it in the color of sage in front of a guy that looks kind of beige. And if that makes me a racist, then you can go straight to hell, because I work for the most diverse company in the world, and that's AEW. And Tony Khan, listen, this ain't a threat, man. I love you. Thank you for hiring me.
Boy.
Thank you for bringing me on board with my giant fucking belly button and my weird muscle face and how I'm a freak show. But let me tell you something, Tony. If you don't use me, man, I'm going to step on your neck, rip your legs open, and I'm going to stuff him up Britt Baker's ass!
All right, we got a Jesus Christ. Let's do the Raw preview right now, guys. Oh, my God. It is him calling. Why is he doing this? Why are you calling me again, Brian? Dude. Why are you doing this, man?
Joe, did you freaking hang up on me, man? Don't hang up on me, Joe. I swear to God, dude, you know what I'm doing right now? Joe, you know what I'm doing right now? Dude, I'm choking a cat. I'm choking a freaking kitty cat right now. Listen to this. Put me in, coach. Put me in, Khan. I'm ready. If you don't put me up,
Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Leah took over the show and monetized this $2.95. For fuck's sake. Wow, is that serious? Yeah, it was the one where I freaked out because I took too much edible. And I started freaking out.
Damn shit in my fucking pants. And
Oh,
since there's a
Look at Nerdy.
park, like right around the block from where I'm staying,
A park?
which happens to be where I work.
This is crazy.
Fucking didn't do shit for this.
No, you're good. Look, Tony's lining up for you.
I just sparked up a joint for you, man.
Let me rewind it back.
Dude, what a fucking...
All my Irish.
Oh, is he down there now?
Poor Leah had to take over the show.
Keep them coming. 12.25, guys. It's the greatest donation. 1 week till Christmas.
Nobody, but
Drobe, you creamy ghostly fag.
Oh my God, Nebbit the Jew. I remember him.
Look, Nebbit the Jew, I'm not offended by your bad jokes.
one of these it is.
Look, all this production aside, like Leah, like I'm not.
This was a long time ago.
Crispness in your voice.
You can do the boiling test or the water test. You see if they float and they're
2 to
no
3
good,
weeks.
something like that.
Yeah,
Leah,
How long can they last in the fridge?
Couple weeks.
Okay, does
linear time. Like I feel like I will find the part where I freak out over the weed at some point. I will find out for you guys. Thanks for being here, guys, for Out of Nowhere. I love you guys. Thank you. Me and Jake had a great time. Black Lab, thank you for being the top dog. Thanks to everybody for all the donations tonight, man, so much. Thank you guys for supporting the show. We'll catch you this week. We'll catch you for Monetize This, 4:50 Saturday night. Big time show. And you never know who's going to return and show up Saturday night.